Then what else can't I say? That's what the man said. That should he die,
one of the members of the first family, Attorney General,
will be responsible. So it's quite tricky that the case has been portrayed as such without looking at the merits. But the most interesting thing in the case, the sensationalism and the emotional thinking, is that the Supreme Court is fearing to rule on an issue of legality.
Fearing?
Yes. Because that's what Ham is insisting, that before we even go into the loan they gave me, whether I paid or I did not pay, this bank is illegally here because they were not licensed to do business here. It is only the Supreme Court that should help to cure that anomaly in the first place. The second interesting one is that in such a case where a citizen says another foreign bank is illegally here, the country's own Attorney General, the chief legal advisor to the president and to government of Uganda, the custodian, the prime custodian of our law, stands to defend the opposite. It is unheard of. I would compare it to a case in the International Criminal Court where the Al-Shabaab or the Al-Qaeda versus the United States of America. And then the United States of America, the Attorney General of the US, stands in to defend the Al-Qaeda.
Very abominable.
Whether as a private citizen, whether as a private lawyer, whether as whatever barrister, it looks a bit funny that the best would be that you excuse yourself from such a case. So the Attorney General, in this instance, appearing in his capacity as a private lawyer of someone, would actually get out of the case.
More so a foreigner.
Yes, because who else would cure the illegality? Because should the court rule that DTB is right here, like I hear them say, it means that they have set a precedent that any financial institution can come here and do business any way they want, licensed or
not
unlicensed. That means that licensing becomes irrelevant or comes after. First go do business, fleece a few people. If you want to register, register. If you don't want, don't. Then you cannot overlook that and then you run down to us about nyanya. Please register your businesses. Please register your business. No.
So do you see what seems to be conflict of interest on the side of the Attorney General?
Yeah, that's what I think. But even, not even the Attorney General, but even the whole court system, this has no space. You can, once some entity has no legal status, it becomes an illegal thing. Court cannot entertain it. It cannot even present itself or yourself. You understand? You are not registered because what makes you a person, you Adam, is that you are born.
Yes.
The equivalent of your birth is the registration and licensing of a company. You understand?
Yes.
So any unlicensed company, bank or otherwise, is an unborn person. Can an unborn person stand in court?
No, he can't.
You understand? So the courts are trying to show us that no, it is okay. We can, our courts. So it will be the first time in history that court accepts to adjudicate in a matter of a living person fighting an unborn person. That's how it would appear. So you cannot overlook that. They need to first of all cure that anomaly and then go into the merits of the case. And the other facts that our brother Ham and his company must bring out are, many people think that Ham is avoiding repaying a loan he took.
Yes. That's the impression.
That's the impression. But reading from spy reports, my brother Irumba, Spy Uganda, my brother Irumba writes and says, no, Ham paid the loan to zero, but he realized that along the way, many other deductions had been made to a tune of 120 billion in excess of what the bank was supposed to take. And he's the one who raised the case for attention, and along the way, many things came up, including the fact that the bank that he used was unlicensed. In this case, both of them will have a case to answer. One, Ham, in dealing with an unlicensed company, ought to have carried out some due diligence to be sure of who he was dealing with. But that was basically not his duty. Because when you want to get a loan, the banks carry out a forensic investigation and probe into who you are before you access their facility.
I really don't think. Anyway,
in this case,
for you, when you're going to get a loan, for example, from the bank, do you first do a due diligence?
No, it is. You do a little, if you inquire,
to the extent that you have to ask yourself, is this bank licensed or not? No.
That one is an issue. That's what I'm saying. That's
an issue of maybe Bank of Uganda, which is responsible for...
Yeah, because the moment I see somebody pin as DTB, Diamond Trust Bank, and you see all government entities are using it, URA, KCC, and the others. I think the reason the courts are fearing to talk about the unlicensed position of the DTB bank is that should they say that
it will involve other entities.
It's a terrible case because you are all government entities.
You are a NIRA. When you go to NIRA now, they will send you.
That should be a negotiation.
When you go to NIRA now, if you want to pay maybe for the national ID, they have a small DTB bank. That's the only bank where you pay. It is actually the bank that has been allowed to establish itself at every point of service delivery in Uganda. You enter NIRA, you enter where they are there. So it is a complicated case with a very significant ramifications on the future. There is a fear of pronouncing themselves because they will cause a bigger problem.
You will stampede many people. You will stampede many entities. First of all, how did a government called the government of Uganda,
allow that to happen? Allow
an unlicensed company to transact business and develop very good trust in dealing with such a bank. So this is a tricky one. But the ruling will be very good for jurisprudence, and we will wait to see.
Kale ko Baba TV ganga muka kwetuli ekyagenda maaso. Aisha Powers yateredde down mulaba yanyumye okutusaako ebyemizannyo kajja atandikira otova.